the media would be a fair arbiter pushing for one thing, which is truth, instead of running defense for, if all this stuff is true, this is the most corrupt president in recent American history. I don't know how far we should go back, but certainly in recent American history, and that's saying something. But the media is not honest, and they're not in the search of truth. They want us all to believe we're mean for wanting to know. We're mean for not understanding Hunter was an addict. We're the nasty ones for wanting real data. And it's not just the media, it's well-known Democrats, both in office and recently out. Here is former Senator Claire McCaskill on MSNBC, Top 5.
I think Joe Biden has shown a wonderful role model to the country about unconditional love. What do these jerks in the House want Joe Biden to do? Throw him out? Refuse to speak to him? Say he doesn't love him publicly? Do they not understand this disease and how it works? Hunter Biden has gone through recovery under the brightest lights imaginable. Everybody needs to back off Joe Biden about this. He loves his son. Back off. It is okay for him to love his son, and there's nothing wrong with it. They have no evidence of any kind of wrongdoing by Joe Biden, and it infuriates me that they're using this heartbreak against Joe Biden in this way. It's just not right.
Oh, my God. I mean, oh, my God, Glenn.
These people are broken, Megyn. I mean, they're monstrous. I mean, to use addiction in that way and to pretend that that's the... Okay, I put a video on Twitter this weekend, and there are so many more like them, of Joe Biden at the floor of the Senate standing up and talking about how proud he is of the fact that he and Strom Thurmond co-authored multiple crime bills that made sure, and he boasted about this, that if you have a crack cocaine the size of a quarter, it doesn't matter how big it is, it can be totally small and clearly for your personal use because you're an addict, you will go to prison for 5 years. And they took away the discretion of judges to consider a drug counseling program or a probation program. Joe Biden hasn't cared about addiction 1 second of his life. Quite the contrary. He's the reason addicts go to prison at such large numbers in the United States. And he didn't back away from those positions when Hunter Biden went through his addiction problems. President Trump is the one who, the first president in decades to sign a criminal justice reform bill to make it less harsh on people who are addicts. He worked with the ACLU to do it. And Joe Biden never had the slightest inkling to care about any of this until it came time to have people like his allies, Claire McCaskill, invoke this kind of indignation that a lot of American families do sympathize with. No one's saying Joe Biden shouldn't love his son. They're saying that Joe Biden should have to answer questions about whether he got bribes and participated in this influence peddling. And look at how just cravenly and cynically they exploit this question in order to protect Biden from those answers.
Yes, so well said. That's exactly it. It's infuriating, and that's his response to everything. I love my son. I'm proud of my son. In a court of law, I would stand up and say, objection, non-responsive. Now answer the question I asked you. Were you part of a bribery scheme? Did you take part in these discussions? Did you receive any monies through Hunter or one of his associates from the following years? I love my son and I'm proud of my son is non-responsive. It is irrelevant, as is Hunter's addiction. It wouldn't save you or me from crimes we committed, and it cannot save him or his dad if they committed crimes here. So you mentioned a minute ago about how the media has been complicit in covering up this whole story dating back from the inception of the laptop being revealed by the New York Post. Big tech working with the FBI and the CIA to tamp it down, to stop the circulation of the story, to dismiss what was on the laptop as misinformation, disinformation from the Russians, and how from the beginning, like this is MSNBC right now with Claire McCaskill, former senator, Democrat, saying, back off, back off. But from the beginning, the media has been running this game. And you mentioned the interview. I refer you back to CBS interviewing Hunter when he had the nerve to publish a book post-laptop. Remember this exchange.
Was that your laptop?
For real, I don't know.
I know, but you know that this is...
I really don't know.
Okay.
The answer is.
You don't know yes or no if the laptop was yours.
I don't have any idea. I have no idea.
So could have been yours.
Of course, certainly. There could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me. There could be that I was hacked. It could be that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me. Look, I really don't know. And the fact of the matter is it's a red herring. It is absolutely red herring. But I am absolutely, I think, within my rights to question anything that comes from the desk of Rudy Giuliani. And so I don't know is the answer.
They let him get away with it then, and they're determined to let him get away with it now.
I mean, what I think is so interesting about those clips is it shows how sociopathically Hunter Biden is willing to lie with or without addiction. The fact that he didn't know that those emails were authentic is such a blatant lie. For one thing, you could have just gone and checked your email accounts. Just because you lose your physical laptop doesn't mean you don't have access to your email accounts. He had business partners who received those emails in real time who also could have confirmed that those were his. You maybe you don't remember every last trivial email that you wrote to somebody, but of course you know the significant ones that you've written about major business deals where you got paid $5 million. Of course, this is the other thing I think is so important, Megyn, is as part of this IRS whistleblowers coming forward, they acknowledge or they demonstrated that the FBI was aware since 2019 about the authenticity of the laptop. So almost a year before the CIA started lying through Natasha Bertrand saying that this was Russian disinformation, the FBI already knew about this laptop, was using it as part of their investigation, and had already concluded that it was authentic, and then allowed every major power center in the United States to unite and lie 2 weeks before the election to try and prevent or give Joe Biden a reason not to have to answer these questions.
There it is.
The lying that gets done and the ease with which they do it is just so striking.
There it is. So what they've been telling us all along is, the Hunter Biden laptop, is it really going to change the election? I mean, like, who cares? He's like a hot mess. Hunter Biden with hookers and drugs, and we knew he was a hot mess. This is just like extra, as the kids would say. This shows he's an extra hot mess. There's so much more on there, right? It's, if you dig deep and you start digging, and maybe if we had launched an investigation at the time, we would have had whistleblowers to come forward, because all this 1023 stuff had happened long before then, and so on. Maybe it would have changed hearts and minds. If this guy's as corrupt as it smells from these allegations, which are unproven, and we need more. What we're asking for is a full investigation. People might care, right? But all along, there's no there. It's a bunch of BS. And the suppression of it, once we found out it wasn't BS, was irrelevant. It didn't change hearts or minds. It wouldn't have moved the needle in the election. And now that we're into really the nitty gritty of it, Glenn, people need to pause and really ask themselves whether they can honestly say that. In a startling description, the UN food chief warned the world with the words, knocking on famine's door. He called what we're facing, quote, a perfect storm of a perfect storm. And he is not alone. A Barron's report says a food shortage could be coming even in the U.S. Farmers see it too. John Boyd Jr., a fourth-generation farmer, recently said, we're going to see empty food shelves in the coming months. That's why getting survival food is more important than ever. Create your own stockpile of the best-selling 4 Patriots survival food kits. It's not ordinary food. We're talking good for 25 years, super survival food. Handpacked in a family-owned facility in the USA and giving jobs to over 200 Americans. They have different delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. And you can make these meals in less than 20 minutes. Just add boiling water, simmer, and serve. And right now, for the next few days, viewers are going to get 10% off their first order at 4Patriots.com. 4Patriots.com by using the code MK. Go to 4Patriots.com, use the code MK to start your stockpile today. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.